too, I guess. It's going there.
The camera's over here. Look, I'm looking the wrong way. Does that look better? And I'm looking this way.
Yeah, yeah, we're we're live. So welcome to another Ask the OT with Gina Grothoff and myself, Don, um, where we take the opportunity to answer questions for people that are dealing with uh, taking care of an aging loved one, a caregiving for a aging relative, parent, friend, spouse.
Or
Um,
if you're caring for aging loved ones in your profession and you want some more ideas and guidance and assistance, happy to answer your questions. You can reach out to us ahead of time. You can join us when we do these live Ask the OT sessions via um, or via Zoom, but we're doing it on YouTube. So if you want to be here live with us or you want to send questions to us, we do these several times a month. And so we've covered many different topics and we want to be here to support you. And when it deals with when you're dealing with caring for an aging loved one, all people have different personalities. All situations are different. Even two people with the same diagnosis, it looks different. And so I can answer some questions here for you. For more in depth support and help with whatever issue you're struggling with, questions you have, situation you're in, reach out to us because that's where my one on one consultation can really be beneficial to look at okay, what are we dealing with here? What is it the goal is? How can I support you? What resources are there out there? And a lot of times it's knowing what questions to ask, right? Our loved one goes in the hospital and the doctor's in and out fast, and we don't always know what questions to ask till after the fact, or it's too late, or wish we had thought of that sooner, kind of thing. So I'm working on a pamphlet from hospital to rehab to home that'll provide a lot of this information. And I can really provide it for you in a personalized way, working with me one on one.
I am looking right now because there's no comment section on the YouTube. It's been doing this, and so what I was going to say, if you are wanting to ask questions, you can. The best way right now, since we're kind of time-wise close here, is to text me. You can text my number is 704-562-1630. You can text me the questions right now. Um, or you can email me at don@focusedhealthyfamily.com if you have questions. In the meantime, yeah, again, um, we talk about what we're going through right now and the stresses that we've had to deal with and the questions we've had to answer. We've just recently we've had to fill out a form for different things with your dad being able to well, some of the situations we've run into with him having to go from the rehab to, I mean, from the memory care unit to the hospital and how
I can
quickly they did it.
So there's a form called the most form. So my dad's got Parkinson's and he has these blackout spells. And he was new to living in an assisted living facility and he had one of these spells and like, oh, it looked like it could have been a seizure. They sent him to the hospital, only to find out later that his neurologist said he doesn't need to go out to the hospital when those things happen. So this is a form that is filled out, medical orders for scope of treatment, so that a doctor or provider needs to fill it out. And my dad's at assisted living, the nurse practitioner is the provider there, and she's going to help us with filling it out. But there's also decisions to be made by whoever is, whether it's the patient, if they're able to, or their healthcare power of attorney that is involved in this. And it's things like, do you want CPR or not? So that's basic. A lot of people might have heard of a do not resuscitate order. A DNR order, but it goes on to other interventions that can be provided um, as far as intubation, IVs, comfort measures. And things like, daily IV fluids or just IV fluids if indicated, or a trial period. There's feeding tube listed on here, antibiotics. And so this form can be filled out with the provider and their signature. And looks like on the back, there's places to kind of review it. And so that this can be in place. So this is something we need to put in place for my dad because he's lived in assisted living now for not even 2 full months. And he's been to the hospital 4 times, 2 times just to the emergency room and back. I think I've got this right. And 2 admissions. Um, and there's just so many complexities that happen. When you move into an assisted living facility, he was at home with caregivers and my mom. And so there's a change of environment, new people adjusting to the routine with him, all the different things that are involved in his care. And yeah, so we didn't know about this before, and we've learned something new. And knowing what questions to ask when you're looking at a facility, I found a facility for my dad, knowing a lot about assisted living facilities, and yet there were questions I didn't necessarily know to ask. And I'm advocating for him all along the way. And I've been doing this. I've worked as an occupational therapist for over 30 years, having moved to Charlotte after graduating college in 1992 from Elizabethtown College with a degree in occupational therapy, and have worked in hospital acute rehab, nursing home, subacute, short term rehab, long term rehab, assisted living, independent living centers, memory care centers, home health situations. The only place geriatric wise I haven't specifically worked is in a regular acute hospital setting. And yet I've had so much experience from my dad's many trips to the hospital and dealing with Don when he was in the hospital and just understanding the ins and outs of what goes on in the hospital and what needs are. So I've been dealing this now even more in depthly from a personal perspective and seeing what goes through with caring for my father and the pieces of the puzzle that I was not aware of as a therapist in these situations. As a therapist, I do a lot of education with both the patient and the family member in regards to their functioning, to maximizing what they're able to do for themselves, to reduce fall risk, to maintain their skin so they don't have skin breakdowns or bed sores, anything like that, or contractures, limits of movements for somebody who has neurological things going on, like a stroke or even Parkinson's, even Alzheimer's. You see people and they start to fist their hands and then their fingers can get really, really stuck in this position. So all these areas that I've worked with, and I love supporting people. I love help giving information. I love getting to know all the different people I've got to know over the years because I approach people differently based on their personality. I if I walk into a room and I've never met this person and they're at a facility, I look around the room. I look at pictures of family. You can, if they have things hanging on the walls, you can see, oh, maybe they have a dog or they love dogs or cats or other interests that they have to engage them and participate with them.
What was it? I now got, I was able to get the chat back up on, I don't know how
Okay,
I did it actually. I maneuvered around with it. But what was the name of that form? I was going to put it back in the chat just for people to reference.
it's called the medical orders for scope of treatment, and it's abbreviated capital MOST, a most form. People know it as the most form.
I've got to make sure I'm spelling it right here.
Yeah, just
I'm putting it up here just so.
and I don't know if this might be North Carolina specific. So different states have different laws and things in place. So if you're outside of North Carolina, you might want to find out if this form exists.
Well,
Um,
they could, they could also ask, just for
some
what procedures it takes to if they need special things done or
and
not done.
and you need things signed. You need there's DNR. You need that signed. DNI is do not intubate. So that means putting a breathing tube down someone's throat to help them breathe. I know those things are pretty much standard across different states, but I mean, this is put out by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, but I would imagine other states have this or something very similar in place. So just finding out what's in your state, the state of the person with um, your loved one that you want, if you want to look at something like this, or you want to at least ask the questions, learn about. It helps to know these things in advance before you get to that point where these decisions have to be made. We've talked about this before, talking about with your aging parents as far as what they would like if in the event that they need more care and more assistance. And so we're going to be continuing this. Oh, I'm now the co-host, huh?
Sorry,
We're going to be continuing these Ask the OT discussions. Um, we typically do them on Monday evenings, but we've got Labor Day coming up, so I believe we've moved the
doing
next
it
one.
Wednesday. Let me look at the date just to make sure, but I think it's the 4th.
It's a week from
Um,
today, Wednesday, September 4th, 7
yeah,
p.m. Standard Time. So if you have some questions, if you want to do it anonymously, you can send them to us. We don't have to use your name. Or if you want to join us, if you'd love to join us on the call through Zoom, let Don know ahead of time. Reach out to him. Again, going to Focused Healthy Family to our website. Here at our YouTube channel, you can also see our podcasts, and we've covered a large variety of topics in caring for aging loved ones. In our Focused Healthy Family podcast, we've done some great interviews, and we have a lot more coming with different professionals related to
you are you're breaking up somewhat.
Okay, I wasn't talking.
There was whatever. Well, you
So
were
we're
whatever.
done.
You were all garbled with whatever you were saying.
What the last thing that I said was garbled.
It is.
I
It
was
is right now too.
talking about how to find us more. I'm going to text
You
you what you need to
can
say.
you can find us on Facebook at Focus Healthy Family, Instagram, of course, FocusHealthyFamily.com. We do a podcast on Thursdays, every Thursday, which goes through a lot of these same subjects, a lot of the same information. So um, definitely, if you're watching this after the fact, you can present us with questions via our website or via our email, the email Don at FocusHealthyFamily.com, and we can put these questions out and actually reply to you via email and or have you on the Ask the OT session itself.
Am I breaking up if I'm talking now,
It's
Don?
a little bit better, but it's still a little bit garbled. So
Repeating, if you want, really one-on-one help with your situation, to reach out to us. If you want to consult with me or consult with both Don and I, to work with you specifically.
yeah, so just to kind of clarify that, because it kind of got, if you want to have some time with Gina to consult and answer your questions in a more concise way, you can take some time with her. You just need to get in contact with us via the website, FocusHealthyFamily.com, and we can um, sit down with you and be more personal with it. Yeah, I see our ways of communication here to get across message. We're usually in the in the same arena together, but this time we're doing it remotely, and like I said, we're in between busy schedules on both sides of us. So, but we're happy that if however you found this, if you're listening to it, to to check back with us, get back with us, get us check our email and let us know what's going on for you. Even if you want to just tell your story and see what comes from that. A lot of times people don't have the questions in top of their mind. We can help you find those questions and the answers to them. So again, just check with us at focusedhealthyfamily.com. So we appreciate you being here with us, and thanks for being here, part of this. And I guess we'll stop here until the next time, the next Wednesday. So